Greetings, everybody. This is Lion Brian Waldishan, your organizer for today's kickoff. I'd like to welcome you all. Before I turn this over to our amazing district governor, I'm going to do a little quick housekeeping to get you all set up and ready to go. So our quick housekeeping is our controls for the day. You will note that you have this control panel here. Button number 2 is your mute, unmute for your microphone. Make sure you are unmuted, and then I will bring you up or down if you have questions during the day. Item number 4 is your raising your hand. If you wish to be recognized, if you raise your hand, I will call on you as soon as possible. So that's your hand raising button, then I will lower your hand. You need to be unmuted and then raise your hand. Number 5 is your handouts tab. If you would open up that tab with the little triangle right here, is a handout with today's packet. It has all the agenda, the reports, the budget, and the copy of this control panel sheet. Number 6 is your question tab. This is where you ask questions and you enter them and hit enter here at number 7. That's where you actually type. And then the question shows up here and the answer will show up below. If you're tired of seeing your tab, you can hit number 1 to hide the entire control panel, and then just have a little hand and a little mute button showing. If you're having audio problems, such as your mic, the audio tab opens up and you can see what mic you have chosen, and what speakers you have chosen, and it should be on computer audio. So that is your orientation for today. It gives me great honor and great pleasure to hand this over and introduce our district governor for the new Lions District of 21 North from Prescott, Arizona, Lion Chuck Matthews.
Good afternoon, fellow Arizona Lions, and welcome to 21 North Kickoff. I hereby call this meeting to order, and I want you to look at our new bell, our new gong, that is. It was gifted to us by Lion Bill Menard, and we thank him very much for that. On one side, it says District 21 North. On the other side, it says Arizona Lions. This year is really going to be a challenge for all of us. But I say, yes, we can do service projects. Yes, we can do fundraisers. And yes, we can be dutiful Lions. This COVID-19 has changed the way we operate, but it hasn't changed us. We are the same old Lions performing service and random acts of kindness. Second Vice District Governor Ethel, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
Can you see me?
Ethel?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Lion Brian, I believe you have a patriotic song for us.
I do, but rest assured I'm not going to sing. Lion Chuck, you need to unmute yourself, please. You're muted, I think.
I was muted. I'm sorry. I thought I did that. I'm going to ask.
The videos automatically mute you. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. I am going to ask all of you Arizona Lions to strive for peace and tranquility in these troubled times. I will ask you now for a moment of silence for our fallen lion heroes, our policemen and women, our first responders, who all protect us. A moment of silence, please. All right. Wonderful. I got a communique before this started, and there's a couple of little things I want to do before Lion Joyce gives the Lion's toast. I want to wish a happy birthday to a lion who is celebrating her 39th birthday for the second time, as I understand it. Happy birthday, Becky White. Happy birthday. Joyce, will you give the toast, please?
Certainly. Everybody raise your glass, whatever it might be, not above you, not beneath you, but with you.
Thank you. And Brian, I understand you have a special welcome.
You want me to do that before you do the protocol and introductions? I'd be happy to do so.
Okay.
So I have a couple of special welcomes. First of all, I received, thanks to Lion International, past International President Joe Preston, I've got a special welcome for you from Lion's President, Dr. Choi. There's been a slight technical, hit the wrong video. There we go.
Dear Lions and Leos, ours is one of the most unique organizations on earth and one of the most important in ordinary times. And in times of great need, we are called upon to serve by our communities and by the world. That's because we bring kindness to those we serve. And our incredible diversity helps us serve in so many ways and in so many places. We are 1.4 million men and women in more than 48,000 clubs. We don't just serve the world, we represent it. As much as we are different, we are the same. We are lions. Our service brings us together. There is no limit to what we can achieve when we work together. We can serve our local causes and our global causes. We can unite people in new ways with specialty clubs. We can support our global foundation, LCIF, to empower the service of Lions now and for generations to come. We can find new ways to safely serve our communities. It takes a great organization like ours to take on big challenges. It takes great clubs like yours. It takes you, the most incredible volunteers in the world. Your unique contributions and your kindness are needed now more than ever before. Together, we can strengthen our communities. Together, we can change lives. And together, we can change the world when we are united in kindness and diversity. Thank you for your incredible service.
Now, Chuck, I need you to come back up, please. Lion Chuck, are you still with me? I need you to come back
I
up on
am.
camera. I need you to come on camera, please. There you are. I've got a
There I
special
am.
surprise for you before the second video. There's something you don't know about. Not only did International President Choi send us this video, and before I show you the second video, President Choi also sent you and the district a special letter, which you'll get a copy of. And it says, Dear Lions, congratulations to you, District Governor Chuck Matthews, and the Lions of District 21 North as you begin your first day first year after redistricting. The challenges of this past year have demonstrated your dedication and perseverance to adapt, to innovate, and to serve. And together united as the Lions of District 21 North, your efforts will continue to restore hope and make a real difference in your communities. As we look to the future, Lions must continue to lead by example and make the world a better place for everyone. We are united in kindness and diversity, and when we serve together, we can all realize our full potential and achieve a greater good than ever before. Your hard work and dedication have improved the lives of others, and your commitment to service ensures that many more lives will be positively impacted in the years to come. And together, we can change the world. Congratulations and best wishes. Regard, Dr. Young Choi, International President. And you'll be getting a copy of that later on today. So that just came. I have one more video here from Lion International Vice President Brian Sheehan. He made us a special video to welcome us, the new district.
Good day, everybody. How are you? In this new district of 21 North, I hope you're all doing well. I'm Second Vice President Brian Sheehan here, directly from Bird Island, Minnesota. Lion Lori and I are hoping that you're all doing fine under these unique circumstances. I would like to congratulate District Governor Chuck Matthews and the Lion members from the new District 21 North. This is going to be a new journey for you as you begin your first year after redistricting. I'm sure this is a big change for you. The secret of change is to focus all of your energy, not on fighting the old or what used to be, but on building the new. I want to leave you with a short video on the fear of change. I know it took you a long time to get to this point, and you had some reservations, I'm sure, on redistricting. The fear of change, I know you've gone through. But it's all going to be good, I promise you. I know you will all learn from each other. And I wish you the best. And know that you're going to have a great year. Keep working on that membership with the help of great leadership and providing service for all. You all know that there's nothing to fear with this new opportunity given to you. COVID-19 has brought many changes to the way we communicate and operate, but the needs of the world have never been greater. I challenge you to continue providing meaningful service to those in need, both locally and globally. This world needs Lions more than ever. And to do it with embracing diversity and kindness is the best way to go. Lori and I can't wait to see you all again real soon. Best wishes, 21 North. Make a great day.
And Lion Chuck, those are your two welcomes, and I thank you. And now to you and Dick.
All right. Dick, just a moment before we do the installation. I want to go back and do the protocol. I failed to do that. I skipped over it inadvertently. You know, protocol, Lions love protocol. I've been thinking about this. Even that has changed through online platforms. Let's recognize several dignitaries, including past International President Joe Preston and District Governor 21 South Keith Alexander, and a group of PIDs and past district governors and past council chairs. Let's give them a big roar. Roar. Dick Sawyer, would you please install the cabinet officers?
I'd be glad to, Governor. Today, we are installing the district officers for our new District 21N for the year 2020-21. I'm just going to give you a highlight of their duties and trust that they will study their international information provided by Lions Clubs. There are 6 things that all district officers need to do. 1, further the purposes and objectives of our association. 2, carry the district and international programs to the clubs. 3, play an active role in organizing new clubs and keeping informed on activities and well-being of the clubs in the districts. In further Lionism here in District 21N. Work with the other district officers. And now we'll come on to specifics. District committee chairpersons. There are a whole lot of you that I've been provided the names, so it's a little bit too hard to go through and list everybody. And although you are not a constitutional part of the district cabinet, you do have a great responsibility to your district and to the Lions that you serve. You chair a committee that the district governor feels is important to the strength of this district. You need to make sure that you understand the function of your committee, what it does, and are ready to help clubs and Lions with questions that revolve around your committee. You should be prepared to visit clubs to talk about your committee and what it does. And individually, will you perform these duties to the best of your ability? Now, there's another group of people out there that aren't part of the cabinet per se, but you're going to hear a lot about them all year long, and that is the Global Action Team, led by our GAT leader, District Governor Chuck. We also have the Global Leadership Chair, Ken Leha, Global Membership Chair, Rosemarie Gabriel, and the Global Service Chair, Maribel Dillard. Now, this team will work with the governor, and then you will be also requested to talk to the individual club GAT members, the leadership, chair, and service. Please, as soon as you can, district chairs, get in touch with those people and get them into your email addresses so that you can be in contact all year long. Now, zone chairs and region chairs, and we again have a very large number of zone and region chairs. Zone chairs, you're the leader of the clubs in your zone. You are to represent them at district and multiple district meetings. So you're here today to represent the clubs. You support the development of clubs in your zone by monitoring the health and status of the clubs. Make sure that you receive or download, whatever method you have to use, the Club Health Assessment Report that comes out monthly. It usually is out by about the 12th or 15th of the month. Visit each club in your zone. Provide a summary of your visit to the region chair, vice district governors, and the governor. Suggest and implement methods to assist all clubs within the zone, especially status quo clubs, financially suspended clubs, and young clubs. Yes, with young clubs, we do have guiding lions out there for 2 years with them, but they need the help of the zone chair. Promote attendance at district and multiple district meetings. I noticed today we're at about 60 attendees with 12 staff members today. That's not too bad for the kickoff. Let's hope we get better as we go on through the year. Further the purposes of Lions Clubs International. Serve as the chairperson of the district's advisory committee in your zone. In coordination with the district GMT coordinator, play an active role in membership development and extension of new clubs. In coordination with the district GLT coordinator, play an active role in supporting leadership initiatives by informing Lions about leadership development opportunities. And yes, we will not be meeting in person for many of these, but we are doing webinars, and the Lions Clubs International has put on some excellent ones so far this year. Perform other functions and acts as may be requested by the district governor. As zone chairs and region chairs, will you do these duties to the best of your ability? Assuming we had a yes from every one of them, you are now officially installed as a region or zone chair of District 21N. Now, Cabinet Treasurer John Agan. As Cabinet Treasurer, you are responsible to conduct and collect and log all per capita taxes levied on the members and clubs in the district. Deposit the same in such bank accounts as the district shall determine, and disperse the same by order of the district governor. You need to keep accurate records, books and records of all district transactions, and upon request furnish any such books and records to any auditor appointed by the district. You are responsible to make timely reports on the financial status of the district and other financial matters. Will you, as Cabinet Treasurer, do these duties to the best of your ability? Now the Cabinet Secretary, Lion Annie Hemu, all the way up over on the river now. You are responsible to take and keep minutes of the district cabinet meetings and conventions, and to furnish copies of the same to LCI, the district governor, and the secretary of each club in the district. You'll need to make sure that your email addresses are up to date so that when you send it out, they get to the correct person. If you get a return on an email, find out why and get that corrected, and then let other officers know that you had to get an email corrected. You are responsible to read the roll call, note attendance, and make reports to the cabinet as necessary. You'll notify the club of any votes that are necessary to be taken, and letting each club know the number of delegates to which they are entitled, and certify those delegates prior to each election. You are also responsible to work with the district governor with correspondence as necessary. Will you, as Cabinet Secretary, do these duties to the best of your ability?
Absolutely. Yes, I will. Thank you.
She's laying on her side up there on the screen. Didn't you get out of bed this morning? Immediate past District Governor Lion Marie, your main job is to provide help and guidance to the current district governor. You need to remember that you have turned over the leadership of the district, but you need to be ready to help when necessary. Will you perform these duties to the best of your ability? Second Vice District Governor and First Vice District Governor. Our second Vice District Governor, newly elected, is Ethel Lazario Smith.
Yay.
Hey, she's got a cheering squad there, it sounds like. And First Vice District Governor Joyce Mayer.
Yeah.
No cheering squad.
I didn't hear from your husband. He should be there with the cheering squad, Joyce.
Gonna have to
You've
talk to
been
him about
elected.
that.
You have been elected to assist the district governor in the administration of the district. You are expected to participate in all cabinet and council meetings and to conduct all meetings in the absence of the district governor in the order of your office. You are to perform such tasks as assigned by the district governor or as required by the International Board of Directors. As first vice district governor, Lion Joyce, you are responsible to work with the district global membership team and assist them in developing a district-wide membership plan. As second vice district governor, Lion Ethel, you are to work with the district global leadership team and assist the committee to develop district-wide leadership plan. You are to familiarize yourself with the duties of the district governor so that you will be better prepared to assume the duties of responsibility of said office. You are to work with the clubs in District 21N. You are the chief administrative assistants to the district governor. Lions Joyce and Ethel, will you, as vice district governors, perform these duties to the best of your ability?
I do.
I will.
Yay.
Now, finally, the guy with the beard in the front there, Lion Chuck.
Yes.
You are the leader of this district. The clubs and the Lions will look to you for guidance and solving of problems. You need to use justice and forethought when you are making any decision that will affect the Lions and the clubs. You need to look to the future while keeping a good hand on the current status of your district. You will need to encourage clubs to prepare and execute quality community service projects, increase their membership, orient new members into Lionism, and find ways to retain members currently in their club. Will you, as district governor, proudly represent the clubs and Lions of District 21N to further the purposes and objectives of our association and do your best to fulfill your duties as so stated?
Yes, I can, and yes, I will.
Lions of District 21N, all of your cabinet officers have signified to do their best. They are going to need the support of all of us if we are going to have a successful year here in our new District 21N. By working together, there is no limit to what we can achieve. And now, by the power vested in me by Lions Clubs International, I hereby declare these officers duly installed to their respective offices. Congratulations. This concludes the ceremony.
Thank you. Thank you, PID Dick. We appreciate your and your guidance. Could we have the roll call of cabinet and officers now? Cabinet Secretary Annie.
Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to run through the attendance for the roll call for cabinets and officers. If you would please just unmute yourself and let me know that you are here as part of the attendance, I would appreciate that. I need a yes or no. I need a yay from you. All right, let's start with Chuck Matthews.
Yay.
All right, Joyce Meyer.
Yay.
All right, Ethel Lazario Smith.
Right here.
Marie Cunning. Okay.
He's here.
She's here. I see her. Okay. Thank you. David Price. I see he's on there. Okay. John Agan.
Here.
Okay. Annie Ham, you here. Carl Anderson, region area chairs now. Carl Anderson. All right, Rand Terwilliger. Hi, David. Rand Terwilliger.
Randy's
Dick's-
definitely here. He's down in the list.
Okay, I see him. All right, Dick Sawyer,
Dick is here.
Present.
Dave Roberts,
Thank you, Mayor. Congratulations once again.
He is here. He's on the list.
fantastic. Ellen Yops,
Sharing that you survived.
She's here. Her mic is having problems.
thank you. I'm going down through the zone chairs now. George Watt. He's on the file, yes?
There, I got him. George, are you here? Don't mute yourself, George. I can't unmute you if you mute yourself.
Good. I know
George,
George.
answer.
All right, George, thank you. Roger Peterson, he's trying to get on right now, so I know he'll be joining us shortly. Everett Peterson. I know you're there, Everett. Richard Liebhaber,
I can't unmute you yet. Unmute yourselves, guys.
you need to unmute yourself and just say here.
ZC Everett is here.
Thank you. Richard Liebhaber. I can never say that right. Richard? Okay, there you are. I heard that. Mary Jane Burroughs. I'm showing her absent. All right, Ron Smith.
He's
You there?
unmute.
Unmute yourself, Ron.
I'm running the mute. I got him unmuted. Ron, are you here?
Yes, I am here.
Thank you, Ron. Bill Crone. I'm showing he's not on there. Robert Riethmiller. Are you here, Robert?
Robert, you're unmuted.
Say here, Robert.
Present.
All right. Charmel
All right.
de la Cruz. You here, Charmel? I know she's on.
She's unmuted. She could answer.
Hi, Charmel.
Hi.
Thank you. Walt Bartlow. Has he arrived? I'm not seeing him.
I do not see him.
Thank you. Becky White, are you there, birthday girl?
Yes, hang on a second. She's up top.
I'm unmuted.
Hi, Becky.
Hi, thank you for the nice wishes.
Great. Okay. And Farhana Shifa Amend, are you here? I hope I said that right. Farhana?
Yes, I'm here.
Perfect. All right. These are all the attendants. I've taken the attendance, and DG Chuck, you do have a quorum.
And Roger Peterson has his hand up. Roger, do you have something you want to say?
Yeah, you
Okay.
had me muted. I'm here.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Roger. All right, you do have a quorum, District Governor. I just want you to
All
know.
right. Wonderful.
Okay.
Everybody is muted. You have to give me a chance to unmute you before you talk. Everybody's muted by me.
All right, we are done with the roll call of cabinet and officers.
Wonderful. Now, Annie, can we have the approval of the 21A and 21C minutes?
Okay, I'm assuming everyone received the official third 21A cabinet meetings from February 29th, 2020, held at LFA. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes? I think I'm doing this correctly.
All right. So moved.
Okay, Chuck, can I get
A second?
a second, please?
I'll second it.
Joyce, all right. Are there any discussions or notes, comments with regards to the minutes, 21A minutes? Okay, can I get a motion to approve those minutes?
So moved.
Chuck, all right. A second, please.
I second.
And that is Ethel. Thank you, Ethel. All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All those opposed? Anybody opposed? All right. 21A minutes have been approved from February 29th.
Wonderful.
Okay, now we're moving on to 21C. 21C minutes were held in November of last year, and I'm hoping everybody did get a copy of that. Can I have a motion to approve these minutes?
So moved.
All right, can I have a second? Anybody?
I'll second it.
All right. Is there any discussion or questions or comments with regards to the 21C final minutes from last year? Okay. Can I get a, can I get a motion to approve, please?
So moved.
Okay, can I get a second, please?
I'll second.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, we have the 21C minutes from last year approved. All the minutes have been approved and motioned, and we are done and completed. Thank you very much.
All right. Moving right along, we need the approval of the 21 New North budget. John Egan.
The budget has been submitted, and I will entertain a motion for approval as presented.
So moved.
Second?
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor of approval of the budget? Say aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed?
All right.
Motion approved.
So approved.
Yeah, motion approved.
Okay, wonderful. Lion Brian, I understand you're going to take a break with a couple of songs. Is that correct?
I think we're all going to take a 5-minute break with a couple of songs. We'll be back in 5 minutes. There are 2 songs back to back. And when they're over, we're getting back to business. So here you all go. And Lion Chuck, we are back. And we are back to you, sir.
All right. The district goals that we have set, I'm going to simplify them for this point of discussion. Number one, we need to feed the hungry. That is one of the most important things that we can accomplish this year. And number two is membership retention. We need not only to form new clubs, new service clubs, new branch clubs, new specialty clubs, but we need to retain the members that we have. And number three, very, very important, LCIF, donations for our foundation from our clubs and from individuals. Please, everybody dig as deep as you can and support LCIF. It is our foundation. And as part of our membership that we want to start several new clubs, Marie Cunning and Rosemary Gabriel are working diligently on this project right now. So if anybody has any ideas for them, advise them or advise me. Keep us posted. We need to form new clubs, but we need to retain the membership that we have. Moving right along. First Vice District Governor Joyce, do you want to give us an update on USA-Canada Forum?
Lion Chuck, could I please step in very quickly? I have two things here.
Oh, yes.
Number one, shout out to Prescott Lions from Everett Peterson. Their member Chuck Bittorf achieved 50 years as a Lion on May 1st, is having his 90th birthday on Tuesday, and there will be a parade passing his house at 2 p.m. today. So he has a birthday. Also, Linda Finley has had her hand up for a while, and I just couldn't get to her. But Linda, you had a question, and I can't unmute you because you're muted, so I can't unmute you. Linda, you're still self-muted. I can't unmute you, Linda.
Thank you. I'm unmuted now. Sorry, I was looking at something else. What were you referring to?
You had a question. You had your hand up.
I had a couple of questions, but it's already been voted on. I would like to know what the balance is in the savings account that apparently has been set up but is not recorded.
I can answer that if that's okay.
That's fine. I'm
Okay.
just curious.
Right now, we have not gotten any funds from 21C. So as of right now, the actual accounts only have $6,977.75. And that is the funds that came from District 21A and B to start it off. And, or excuse me, A and C to start them off, plus the monies from 21As. We have not received any funds from 21C as of yet. So our total balance between all of the accounts are $6,977.75.
Thank you. And that's in addition, well, no, then you don't have, then I guess and I'm not understanding the budget sheet when you're saying you're transferring from the savings account if one doesn't exist.
No, we do have a check-in, a savings, and we do have a convention account. So in the checking account, we started out with $1,000. In the 21, John, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you answer that? What's in our savings account?
Yeah, in the savings account is $7,799.42.
Thank you.
I think that takes care of that.
All right.
You were saying, Chuck, I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem, Brian. Just jump in whenever you need to, no problem. Leader dogs. Mr. Governor Tom Simmons, would you like to introduce Beth, please? Unmute yourself, Tom.
I'm getting him right now. Hang on. Lion Tom, you are self-muted. I can't unmute you, Tom. You need to unmute yourself. You are self-muted, Lion Tom. Sometimes with the special controls, it takes a few extra moments. PCC Tom, you're still self-muted. Tom, I still can't unmute you. Tom, you are self-muted. I can't unmute you. And Lion Chuck, there's a message from Lion Dick that at your convenience, he needs to do one more installation. That's at your convenience.
Oh, okay.
But it just when you feel like you want to stick it in.
Well,
Lion Tom, I can't get you up, Tom. You're still self-muted. It's that Shift Control A or whatever it is, the hot button.
I tell you what, let's go back to Lion Dick Sawyer right now, and then we'll skip back to Tom when we can get him up, okay?
All right, so Lion Dick, bring yourself up.
Dick Sawyer, please.
Yes, I'm online. I want to first apologize to immediate past District Governor David Price. I failed to put him in as one of the past district governors. We have two this year to supplement our
That's
district.
right.
And so, David, your job, of course, is to step aside, but not into the shadows. We want to hear from you. I know the governor wants to hear from you. Both
Yes.
you and past District Governor Marie had interesting years, and I'm sure that you can give him some advice as you go on things that happened during your year. Will you do these jobs to the best of your ability? There, that should take care of it, the governor. I think.
Okay, wonderful.
Do apologize for my error.
Oh, no problem, Dick.
District Governor Chuck, Tom Simmons is now unmuted.
Okay, let's go for the introduction, Tom.
Well, thank you, Governor, District Governor Chuck, and I want to thank you for giving us this opportunity. I just heard the opportunity from past international president Joe Preston, and so he suggested that we get Leader Dog on because that's one of his favorite projects, as he's on the advisory board. Anyway, I just want to introduce Lion Beth Slade. She is a member of the Lake Orion Lions Club in Michigan. She has been working with Leader Dogs since 2014, where she is now the Director of Philanthropy for Lions Engagement. And that means that she works with Lions Clubs all over the world to support Leader Dog and the Lions teamwork. So let's give Beth a big welcome. And here's Lion Beth, a great person and a friend.
Thanks, PCC Tom. We are meeting a lot today virtually. So I am here in Michigan, but thank you so much, District Governor Chuck, for letting me slide into the meeting just to give you guys a little heads up as to what's happening at Leader Dog right now. Congratulations first on your new redistricting. As if things aren't crazy enough, you might as well have something else to work on, right? So right. Congratulations to you guys. So just a few things of what's going on at Leader Dog. The statistics, just for those that like the numbers, right now we have 14 active working Leader Dog teams in Arizona. PCC Tom is one of those. We've placed historically over 191 in our 80 plus years of existence. That's over $8.7 million worth of services. 8.7, yep. Which is great because thanks to Lions and Lioness, which I should also say welcome to on the phone call, we didn't have to bill out a single one of those, not a single dollar of the 8.7 million, thanks to your support. We've had over 15 clients who've come in for orientation and mobility. We're partnering with a lot of agencies. If you all have your veterans agencies, lighthouse agencies, any of the agencies that teach white cane training, we're partnering with a lot of them to get more and more people that white cane training. And we've also had some campers for our summer experience for teens that have come from Arizona. So keep getting the word out there that we are a resource for people, no matter what state they live in. We're happy to have 3 approved applicants right now from Arizona that are just waiting. PCC Tom is one. He had his bags packed and was ready to walk out the door for class when we shut things down back in March. So just to give you a little heads up of what we've been doing since March, we too shut our doors down. We rehomed probably half the dogs that were on campus at that time. There were probably 70 dogs that we rehomed while we tried to keep things going. So we are very excited to say that just as of yesterday, we graduated our first guide dog class of this fiscal year. Our fiscal year is the same as Lions, so it just started up. We haven't had a class since March. The last time I think we shut down Leader Dog was back in the 60s, and that was for weather. So it's been a long time since we've had to close our doors. So I like to say now we've opened them up just a smidge. This last class, everybody could drive in versus fly in. We made the class much smaller. Our team worked tirelessly to figure out how can we do this safely. So it was a smaller class size. We spread out who was staying in which rooms. As you know, we've got a residence hall. We spread out the dining. Our trainers even came up with, since everybody was wearing masks, it was even harder to hear each other. So they went out and got speakers with little earphones so that they could have an easier time communicating with each other. So we tried to do things as safely as possible, and we're looking at slowly rolling out more and more availability. We did have our summer experience for teens, and this was kind of innovative. Obviously, we couldn't bring the kids onto campus this year, so we decided to do a virtual summer experience for teens. It was a lot of fun. We normally have 23 kids come from all over the country, but this year, because it was virtual, we had twice as many kids who could join in. It's usually 16 and 17-year-olds, but since they weren't coming to Leader Dog, we could open it up to kids 14 to 17. So it was really a good opportunity, we'll say, versus what things look like as not being a very good opportunity. And one last thing I just want to throw out there, it's a huge thank you. We have 2 Top Dog clubs in Arizona, in your district, as a matter of fact. Top Dog clubs are clubs that donate $5,000 or more to Leader Dog in one fiscal year. We, just like the Lions, have had a lot of backstepping with fundraising, obviously, and canceling a lot of events. But you all had 2 clubs that came through, actually with the 13th and the 19th largest gift out of all the gifts we got from Lions across North America. So a humongous thank you to Flagstaff Sunrise Lions Club and Prescott Sunrise Lions Club. As you guys know, pediatric cancer, there's some woo-woos. Pediatric cancer, LCIF, Leader Dog, everything that we do as Lions, the need never stops. So we really appreciate every bit that you all can do, not only, like I said, to get the word out on our services, but to help support what we do. And so I just want to say thank you to all of the Lions of Arizona. And again, congratulations, 21N. I hope you guys have a fantastic year.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Beth. And Lion Chuck, I just want to say one thing, just so everybody knows. Lion Nelson there's nothing wrong with him except he's 11 years old and he's decided he wants more couch time than he wants working time. He is pressed back into duty, so he is working because he is an essential worker, but he will retire as soon as I can get back to the school, and he will retire to full couch time at our house with Lion Kyle taking care of him. So he's doing fine.
Wonderful.
And thank you again for letting us talk to you today.
Yeah, very good. Okay, First Vice District Governor Joyce, would you please give us a USA-Canada Forum update?
I received an email yesterday in reference to the USA-Canada Forum, since they did cancel it, which was very sad, but they're going to be doing a virtual class this year instead. It's from September 25th to the 27th. It is $20 to register, and that means anybody can go. It doesn't limit you to only a few people where you have to fly to it and everything else. It'll be 3 days. There is more information to come out about it. This is just a little bit of a heads up. So hopefully we can get lots of people to go to this and really see what's going on there. And it only costs you $20. That's all I have. More information to come.
Thank you, Joyce. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, moving right along. Past District Governor Ken Leha, would you update us on the GLT, what's going on with you, and what we can expect in leadership this year?
As you had indicated, one of the challenges that you have for the year as part of the goals is to retain members. Part of what we're going to be trying to do as part of the global action team for you and working with you is trying to work to help the clubs and the club leadership in terms of trying to keep their members and to find a way of making a connection within their community and within Lions, even though they may not be meeting on a regular basis. You want to hit the next slide there for me, Brian, please? We are part of the multiple district global action team, and we have certain activities that we're trying to do. First of all, it is a team. It is not just, there's no I in team. So there are multiple individuals, particularly at the multiple district level. If you'll hit the button there, Brian. The district GLT coordinators include myself and Lori Gens, Lion Lori Gens from 21 South, as well as our illustrious leader, multiple district global leadership team coordinator and past district governor, Tom Price. So we're working very hard to work as a team to try and generate that opportunity for all of the clubs to succeed and to survive and thrive as we move forward into 2020 and 21. Next slide, please. We are here to support the club leadership. Most importantly, we're trying to help all of the club leaders be able to have officer director and other members of the club leadership team be able to get training. But we're not going to try and get everybody to drive to Phoenix or Tucson or Flagstaff, spend 2 hours on the road, spend then 20 minutes in a classroom session when we have this beautiful opportunity to use virtual training. So we're going to be working very hard in supporting the club leadership through virtual activities. Next slide. So the challenge that we have is to find a way of helping the clubs find their success. And it's not just a brick and mortar type of training, it is virtual training. Next. So our focus will be on helping clubs thrive, survive, and any other vibe you want to try and, including vitality, try and help the clubs make it all come together. Next slide. Here is how we're going to do it. We're going to use the tools that are in existence that we already have to stay connected and to get involved, keep our members involved, and try and challenge them to be a part of the solution, because so many clubs are out there trying to identify ways that they can have their meetings and do their service projects, conduct their fundraising activities, and make the activity so that the members want to stay involved, stay connected, and stay engaged. So to do that, it's part of our challenge to try and build the local leadership team. Next slide. So in our planning for success, again, notice that we've got this focusing on helping the clubs thrive. Next. So first of all, whether it's a new club or a experienced club, we want to try and create the leadership team that can provide guiding lions. We know that we need to have guiding lions for all of our new clubs. In fact, we've got 4 guiding lions for the 4 new clubs here in the North. And what we want to do is have more guiding lions, because in this new technology that we need to have more people having the ability to do a GoToMeeting, do a Zoom, to start utilizing the technology tools that they have available, that you have available. So part of what we're going to be doing is trying to identify, recruit, and train guiding lions for continued club success. Again, whether it's a brand new club or an experienced club, having that mentor, having that person that you can connect with that can provide some additional help, that's where we need them. That includes our zone chairs, who will be guiding lions in their own way and in working within the clubs within their individual zone. So we're going to be working with the zone chairs as guiding lions as well. Next. Mentors. We all can use help, and particularly as we find a lot of people are saying, I need to step back and we need to bring in somebody else to take on new roles or additional roles. Where are they going to get that kind of information? It's not like we can have that brick and mortar type of training. And when you go online for some of the training, there is a tendency to have no questions being able to be asked, or at least you don't get that direct one-on-one connectivity. And so part of what we want to be able to do is have subject matter experts available and on call for the club presidents, for the club officers, and the club leadership to be able to have the resources available to help them succeed locally. Next. And one of the challenges, since it's not like we're going down to the restaurant and having dinner tonight or lunch or breakfast or whatever, so having a club meeting where we have to be socially distanced and wear masks, it has a tendency to make it challenging. And how many times do we have difficulty trying to find speakers to be able to talk? We're developing a catalog of speakers for virtual club meetings to be able to make the club meetings successful, to keep the members engaged. If they're engaged, they have a tendency to want to stick around and participate. So that's part of our planning. So now how are we going to make that happen? Next slide. We're going to be connecting for success. So we've got planning. We're now going to work on how do we make the connections. Next. One of the challenges that a lot of the individuals in the new district have been talking about is how do we navigate through my LCI and how do we utilize the resources that are available at LCI. We have a lot of them, but not everybody knows it. Not everybody has gone onto the LCI website and looked at what resources are available. Not everyone feels comfortable getting onto my LCI. So part of what we want to be able to do is have the resources available for the clubs and the club leadership to be able to contact us, and we'll get somebody able and willing to talk about and work with you on navigating my LCI as well as the LCI online resources. And many of those resources, we're going to be trying to create virtual programs so that you can utilize them as a club meeting or as a club highlight keynote element within club meetings. If you're meeting weekly, every other week, once a month, at least you know that here is a resource for trying to find people that can make presentations to your club. We have a very strong catalog of speakers already set up that Lion Lori Gens has put together. And of course, our former global leadership team coordinator and now current council chair, Barbara Daly, has already put together a lot of the resources and already done a lot of the webinars. We're going to be continuing that activity as part of our continuing force and connecting for success. Next slide. Again, all of our focus is going to be on supporting club leadership. So we'll be able to have virtually any Lions topic, a session available to you. All you have to do is give us a call and let us know what you have in mind and we'll make it available. We'll find someone to be able to do a virtual presentation. In my home club, we've already had the opportunity to have the constitutional area chairman be able to come and speak to us from his couch in his home. And yet Clyde Thompson, constitutional area 1 leader, was able to make a presentation to a small club in Prescott. It can happen in Siloam, it can happen in Kingman, it can happen in Overguard Ponderosa, it can happen anywhere as long as we have an internet connection. We're here to make it a successful and eventful opportunity. All of that is going to mean that we're going to have ways of getting and keeping our membership engaged and involved. Next. An exciting part of what we've got planned and that we want to be able to make the connections is in conducting our virtual new member orientations. In fact, we're planning a new member orientation for this Thursday and Friday. Plan is to have it be a 90-minute session in the evening Thursday and an evening Friday, and it'll be personalized for the individual clubs. We've already got one of the 4 new clubs that we have in 21 North already on the books. Thank you, IPDG Marie, for scheduling that and putting that together. And we'll be going virtually into everyone's home and being able to talk to those individual brand new members and provide them an overview of who are Lions, what are Lions, because you are now a Lion and it's going to be an exciting time for you. We want to be able to have that on a customized basis for each one of the clubs. So the plan, if we're able to continue it and everything seems to be working in that way, is that our Connecting for Success is going to engage every single one of those club members, and every one of them is going to have new member orientation within the next 2 weeks. Now, what about all of the clubs that are experienced or long of the tooth, or perhaps you've got a long group of members that have been around for so long they've forgotten what we have in the way of availabilities and opportunities for those members? We're going to have not a new member, but an old member orientation. So if you, and I don't mean that old in years, I'm talking about if you've been around for a while, but you want to find out what's going on behind the scenes, we're going to even have an old member orientation. We got to come up with a better name for it because I kind of resemble that old part of it. So we're going to work on that portion. The next slide, if you don't mind, Brian, thank you. So yes, we're going to continue offering training because training is part of success and success building. Hit the slide, please. So we are going to be conducting and having available the same continuity of what Barbara and Lori have been, Barbara and Lori have already started doing, and we've had a number of great responses in terms of the virtual leadership training sessions. All we need to do is have 3 or 4 club secretaries say that we'd like to have a little bit more orientation and a little bit more understanding. It takes a phone call. Whether it's club secretaries, club treasurers, even lion tamers and tail twisters. We're going to be making it available. And in this new medium that we have available to us of this virtual training, all it takes is a couple of minutes and we can set up a group dynamic and be able to share and exchange and be creative in what we're doing. Next slide. One of the things that I've always felt was a challenge whenever you're going and you're doing one of the LCI PowerPoints and you're doing that personal training, it's all online and it's a very wonderful way of getting the information, particularly the basic information. But part of what we want to be able to do is develop real-time realities that go along with it. When you're just talking to your screen, it doesn't always answer you. When you try to ask a question, the screen's just going to give you, here's kind of a comfortable formula. What we want to be able to do is provide real-time realities so that you can ask a question. And so that's the neat dynamic that we're trying to build into our GLT program, is this two-way communication, even though it's virtual, but at least you'll have a subject matter expert, you'll have somebody that's on the line, online with you, able and willing to be able to answer those burning questions. Next slide. And a key individual in this entire mix is we're going to be working very hard to support the zone chairs. Zone chairs have been around for a long time and they've been very valuable in assisting the club leadership. The club leaders need to have that resource, that mentor, that extra guiding lion. So it falls on the global leadership team to see to it that the zone chairs have the training. This next Saturday, a week from today, we're going to be doing zone chair training. So if you haven't had a chance to go through it, and so that'll give you an opportunity to find out what does a zone chair really do, here is your opportunity. Saturday at 9 o'clock. And if all you have to do is give me a telephone call or Tom or Lion Lori, and we'll make sure that you have an opportunity to get on board with that particular online training session. All of it based on you have to be the one that generates that call. So you've all heard of the Ghostbusters. Well, you know, who you going to call? Give us a call.
Yeah.
Final slide, if you don't mind, Tom, or excuse me, Brian. The mid-year conference is going to be coming up very soon. It's surprising how quickly November is going to hit us. I remember going to my very first mid-year leadership conference more than a decade ago and finding out just how valuable it was. But in today's day and age where being in a brick and mortar scenario is going to be a little bit difficult, PDG Tom Price has put together a tremendous conference plan, which is going to feature our special guest speaker, International Director Gary Brown, and it's going to be all virtual. So here's a great opportunity. Put it on your calendar and plan for it. There will be online sessions from 9 a.m. to noon and then 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock. And the list, it goes on and on in terms of opportunities. I've already had a couple of people say, How come you've got the great sessions at the same time? I can't be in two places at once. Well, take your pick, but at the same time, we're going to be recording them so that you'll be able to have a resource for being able to see those presentations after the conference. But you got to get to the conference first to be there. So that brings up the final point. If you hit the last slide for that Ghostbusters thing where you got to make the call, here's who you got to call. Can you back up one, Brian? I'm sorry. There you go. There's PDG Tom Price, his email and phone number. There's my email and phone number. And there's Lion Laurie's email and phone number. Whether you're in the South, you're in the North, you want somebody coming in from the state level, just give us a call. And with that, there's my email, lionken@leiafamily.net. Send me an email and we'll do what we can. Thank you, District Governor Chuck.
Thank you, Ken. You and your team are truly connecting for success, and I take my hat off to you. This is a giant step forward. It really is. And I hope everybody recognizes that. Moving right along, past District Governor Rosemary Gabriel, will you enlighten us with the GMT goals, please?
Hi, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. And this is the 21 North membership. Lion Brian, can we have the start with the slide? Okay, don't you think this one is very attractive? Aren't you getting hungry? And
Yeah.
I know you just had lunch, so this will be your dessert, okay? I was doing this one. I started doing this one during at breakfast, and so I thought of donuts. And you know, just looking at it, it makes me think of our organization. We are all different. We come in with different talents and abilities, and that is what makes our organization great. And it's the diversity that's making us stand out with doing all our projects and getting more membership to our organization. Next slide, Brian. Okay, our membership for this year theme, it's more hands and more service. As a service organization, our product is service, and we need more hands to be able to deliver this service, to be able to give service to all the different causes that we are in for hunger, environment, pediatric cancer, vision, and diabetes. And to remind us that this is what we are here, we've developed this logo. And I'd like to thank for Hannah for, for creating this logo for us. And it makes us remember all the time to ask one. It's not easy during these challenging times. You maybe get a lot of no's, but maybe tomorrow somebody's going to say yes and join our organization. Next slide, Brian. This is the district health assessment for our multiple district. Unfortunately, because of our redistricting, LCI hasn't given us the individual ending June for A, B, and C, but they're able to give us for our multiple district. And we ended up with 2,709 as our total. And let's step back and see why we are in, what caused our redistricting, and maybe this is one of the causes, aside from doing it for administrative purposes. Lion Brian, please. Okay. For the past years, if you can look at the chart or the table, you can only see the red ones here are only the times that we had a positive membership, and twice for our multiple district, 2015, 2017. And I have to say, if you were here in 2017, I'd like to say thank you. Thank you for all your support. Thank you, because it is always not just a one person work. It is everybody that's doing the part. And I remember a senior officer approached me and says, "What is your final figure?" And I have to say, I really don't know, because if you are going into the computer at the end of the month, it is always so hard to get in because everybody else is going in. And so I waited until first thing in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, and we got a positive 87. And I jumped and called up the senior officer and says, "We got an 87." So thank you. And I know we can always do it. If everybody works, then it is possible. And like DG Chuck says, yes, we can, and yes, we will. Right, DG Chuck?
Right, absolutely right.
Okay, next slide, please. And this is what we merge as Arizona Lions. And we have the 21 North with 57 clubs. Now we're starting with 1530 members. Next slide. And we have, next slide, Brian. We have the South, and that's 49 clubs. And that figure is supposed to be 1179, but that's a good omen. It means we're increasing. Okay. Next slide, please. And we have DG Chuck's goals on membership growth. We have the creation of new clubs, a specialty club, traditional clubs, and branch clubs. And we're hoping we have 75 new members to existing clubs. And how do you think we can be able to attain this goal? I think there are so many ways. First, just us. You know, we have our, and that is why we have our logo that says "Us One Today," and that serves as a reminder that we need more awesome volunteers to join us. Invite others to your service activities. This way, you know, it's so much easier for them to join us, seeing what we do. And you don't have even to make so much marketing, because they are already know what they are, you know, what is expected when they join a service organization. In community events, be out there and be able to be visible and tell them, do storytelling of what we do. Don't forget that you had your aha moments. I always call it wow moments, and how you became a lion and why you're staying a lion. Next slide, please, Brian. Okay, most important one, and I know Digit Chuck has already mentioned it, retention. We have to reach out and connect with our members. Have fun at your Zoom meetings. You know, people, I've seen our clubs also do exercise, or just, you know, tell the members what you have been doing for the whole week. Or we know some members are just by themselves, and this is a great time that they are able to see other people and communicate. Serve creatively and safely. With this pandemic, you know, we are able to really go out of our box, be able to think, be able to create some services that's not, you know, that we normally do. Because so many people, like many of our members, cannot serve due to health, due to age. Other organizations welcome, you know, to partner with them, so they are able to reach out more people, volunteers. We are able to reach out to more people. Keep the passion. Think of your aha moments of when you became a lion. Don't be discouraged that you are not able to be going out there and serve. You know, we will get through this together. there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And for me personally, I know I cannot be out there and serve. I have, done like like doing homemade cards. And I just finally finished a bunch of cards for the healthcare. I've asked, one of my Lion Grace to bring it to Mayo Hospital and distribute it to all, to the nurses, and to thank them for all that they're doing. And I've started doing cards for home care, places for the senior homes. And mind you, these are not Hallmark cards because I am not good at it, but just giving them some hope and thanking them that you're there for them, And we have, okay, the next one here is for a PDG Association, and that's through PCC Larry Palmer. You can always call Larry Palmer if your club needs assistance. We have PDGs that are willing to go out and help your club, be active again. And thank you, PCC Larry, for doing that. And then we have other stuff. Welcome the transferees to your club. We had some clubs that were closed last year, but we were able to, there are members that were able to transfer to other clubs. And please welcome them, make them feel at home. I'd rather have people transfer to a club that's more convenient for them to go to meetings or to serve than losing them from our organization. We have also, you can also connect with Lion Al Hunter, who is going to be an advocate for the Leo to Lions program. I know he's very much willing to help out, have the Leos really become good lions. And I can't talk about membership without without reaching out to our GLTs for retention, for as they mentioned, as Lion Ken mentioned, we will be having our new club orientations for our new clubs, and also later on for all our seasoned members as a refresher course. To be a best Lion you can be, you have to have knowledge and also to have the passion to serve. Next slide, please, Lion Brian. Okay, with this year, we've come up with another communication tool, and that is the 21 membership polls. And you would see this at the Canyon State and on my emails to the district leadership. And I'm asked our cabinet secretary to send it all to the clubs, and for the club secretaries to send it out to all the members. This way, all of us are in the same page. Everybody knows what we are all doing. And this would contain the club health assessment. As a membership person, I would like to remind all secretaries to always don't forget to put no update at the beginning of the month. So when you see your club health assessment, you would see that if it's 0, it means that you've never missed any updates, okay? I know that in July, last month, right? LCI is having problems with our system. So if I see that it's not 0, all of us can understand why. We are having computer problems, and we're trying to do with the redistricting. And this is also a communication to welcome new members, new clubs to our district, any kind of also news and updates. Okay, so we had that membership polls, and like to welcome all the new members of the Phoenix Asian American Club. Thank you for the sponsor, Jen Aquino. And oh, Lion Brian, can you move one slide before? Okay. And yes, Jen Aquino, the sponsors. We have 5 new great Lions, and I want to welcome our new Leos. Okay, I know they're going to be a great one. We have great mentors. And okay, for the new membership polls too, what will you be seeing for the membership polls? I've asked the zone chairs, okay, starting in July, you'll get to know all their clubs. As a new district, 21 North, I know that we have new clubs in, and so this is a way our zone chairs will be introducing their clubs, what they do. And so by the end of February, you will get to know all the zones and you can reach out to them. Okay. And that is one of the reasons why I had 2 zones for every month. I don't want one zone to be all at the end of June. And that's already the end of our year. So if you think that you can partner with them and you think there's like some projects that you'd like to be able to do that with your own club, reach out to them. And then next, okay, and I've asked permission, okay, from Dr. T.J. Johnson, and this is a poem that I really like, and she was one of our presenters before. And let me read to you this poem, okay? And this sums up to be a one great lion. The power of one lion. One lion's smile begins a friendship. One lion's touch can lift a soul. One lion's words of encouragement can inspire service. One lion's words can declare an important goal. One lion's song can spark a heartfelt moment. One lion's passion can ignite a room. One lion's ideas can begin an awesome project. One lion's laughter will conquer gloom. One lion's giggle will start the fun. One lion's blessed word will begin each prayer. One lion can bring joy and hope for tomorrow. One touch can show a lion's care. One seasoned lion's voice can speak with so much wisdom. The same voice will lead the chant we serve. One lion can be the light in the midst of any darkness. And yes, that light will serve the world. One lion's servant heart must and will always ask, what can I do? What else can I do? One lion can make the difference. And today, that difference starts with you. Today, you are the power of one great, awesome, and powerful lion. Today, you are the power of one great, awesome, and powerful leader. And that is from Dr. T.J. Johnson. Thank you, everyone, and stay safe. Let's roar. Okay.
Roar. Thank you very much for the wealth of information, Rosemary. And thank you for Hannah for the very catchy more hands, more service. Just ask one today. I like that. That's a beautiful logo.
District Governor Chuck, we do have a question. It's from Lion Linda Findley, and she asked if actually there's 2 questions now. She wanted to know who are the 21 South and the multiple district membership chairpersons. And her second question is, would District Governor Chuck tell us the clubs each zone chair is handling?
You know what, Linda, I will send you an email with all of that because I don't have that list in front of me. It's in the room. I know where it's at.
Lion Chuck, do you want me to give you the names?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, we have for zone chair 1, George Watt. And do you want the clubs? We have Chino Valley Noon Timers, Flagstaff Sunrise, Grand Canyon, and Williams. Zone 2 is Rogers Peterson. That's for Bullhead City, Kingman, Lake Havasu Daybreakers, Lake Havasu London Bridge, Parker, and Salome.
Salome.
Salome, okay. That's my Filipino accent, Salome. Zone 3 is Everett Peterson, Holbrook, Payson, Sholo, and Springerville. Zone 4 is Richard Liv Haber, Camp Verde, Cottonwood, Overguard, Ponderosa, Pine Top, and Sedona Oak. Zone 5 is Mary Jane Barjose. That's Buckeye Festival. Goodyear, oh no, Surprise, not Goodyear. Okay. Surprise Sun Village. Zone 6 is Ron Smith, Phoenix Metro, Peoria Northwest Valley, Peoria Pioneer, Peoria Sunset, and Wickenburg. Zone Chair 7, Bill Crone, Sun City Early Bird, Sun City Host, Sun City Midwest Bell, Sun City West Sunrise. Zone Chair 8, Robert Ritt Miller, Prescott Evening, Prescott Noon, Prescott Sunrise, Prescott Valley Early Birds. Zone Chair 9, Charmel De La Cruz, Deer Valley, Phoenix Asian American, Phoenix Barangay, Phoenix Paradise Valley. Zone Chair 10, Walt Bartlow, Fountain Hills Community, Phoenix Jewel of the East, Phoenix Phil-Am, Scottsdale McCormick Ranch. Zone Chair 11, Becky White, Camelback Mountain, Phoenix Amity Global Cyber, Scottsdale Protege, Scottsdale McDowell Mountain, Scottsdale Pinnacle Peak, Scottsdale Pride of Scottsdale. Zone Chair 12 for Hannah Shifa Ahmed, Phoenix Biltmore, Phoenix Breakfast, Phoenix Midtown, Phoenix Rainbow, Phoenix Valley of the Sun. And that's it. BG, Chuck.
Thank you for all that information, Rosemary. I should have had that list in front of me, but I didn't. And Linda, I will email you an attachment with that, all of those officers and zones on there, okay? I'm sure you couldn't take them down that quickly, so. Okay, Lion Maribel Dillard, GST goals. Unmute yourself, Maribel.
She is unmuted.
I'm unmuted now. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay. I don't have a presentation prepared, but for this year, my intention is to collaborate with all of the clubs and make sure to get in touch with them. We are in this pandemic and we can't do this all together. So for today, my intention is to actually reach out to everybody and collaborate. We could do the act of kindness. For instance, this past month, we made meals for a family whose mother was suffering from cervical cancer and she was hospitalized. And so for the length of time that she was in the hospital, we recruited members of the Lions from multiple clubs to actually cook meals for the family. We've also distributed cloth masks in collaboration with all the different organizations throughout the valley. For hunger, we still have the 3,000 Club who's ongoing goals to feed the hungry, and that's on every Saturday morning from 5 to 9 o'clock in the morning at the 3,000 Club warehouse in 1714 West Rose Garden Lane in Phoenix. So there's a multitude of projects that are still available, although we're in this COVID environment. We could also do the backpack and school supplies distribution, or the backpack or school supplies drive. So I will put together a list and send it out to all of the district zone and get in touch with all of the GSTs for each multiple club. And on the next our next meeting, I'll make sure to have a report out and a PowerPoint presentation to give out to the team. That's all.
Good. Thank you, Maribel. Moving right along, let's have a few words on LCF. Immediate past District Governor Marie Cunning. Or I believe Rosemary is going to assist her also. Marie, are you?
We have a question from Nina Ingermanson. I think the last report. Nina, I've unmuted you.
Okay, thank you, Lion Brian. I just had a quick question about the zone chairs. Do we have available printout on the different zone chairs, clubs?
Hello.
That'll be out soon.
Okay,
Yes, in the directory.
I haven't seen one, so I thought I might want to ask so that we can know who we belong to or who's going to be our zone chair. We thought it was somebody else, and when it was mentioned that it was somebody else, then I thought maybe we could find a listing, and thank you for that information.
Can I just interject that will be on in the directory when we get that online, and that's being worked on right now. But if you need to know, give me, Annie, your CS, and I will be happy to tell you and give you the information you need for your area.
Very good, Annie. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Annie.
I have two more questions here. I have, I just lost, Linda Finley had her hand up. Linda, did you have a question?
No, my apologies. I apologize.
Okay. And then Al Hunter, I've had him waiting for a while. Al, did you have a question?
Yes, that me? This is Al. Hey,
do you have a brief question, Al?
It'll be a little brief, but it's very important. And I'm going to give a recommendation to everybody in leadership up there. And we talked about retention, we talked about growth and stuff. Let me tell you what we've learned. Over the last 3 years, we lost 16 clubs, and that's a net loss. And there's a theme that goes along with that, and why every one of them we lost was the fact that the clubs started to age, the members were aging. As they aged, obviously their health started to take effect, so they couldn't be as active. A lot of that activity was
Al, excuse me, can we get to you during questions and comments about the Leos?
Well, the only reason why I was bringing this up has everything to do with what you guys just talked about with leadership and membership and service. Follows that same theme. The whole point that I was trying to make is that as they get older, then all of that responsibility falls on the younger members. Those younger members are typically in their 60s. They burn out, clubs go away. We have a hard time bringing leaders and leadership into both the the district and also the multiple district. And this has been going on for a while. We're at 60% of our members right now in the state are over 65 years old, and those numbers don't change. So what I would strongly recommend to GMT, GLT, and everybody else is take a look at that. And the reason why I got involved in Leos is because I think a lot of members we got to go after are the young members. Those are going to be around for the next 20, 30, or 40 years. And so I'm pushing a big thing about Leos. We could talk about that later. I've already sent emails out to all of you. So as time goes on, we can get a serious conversation with that. Okay, thanks.
All right. Wonderful.
Sorry about that.
Oh, hey, no problem. Okay, moving on to LCIF. Marie, if you're on, or Rosemary, if you want to pinch hit for her.
Yeah, I know she has something to say for the LCIF, but let me just do my part. Maybe she'll come in soon. Okay, so we're doing LCIF Got 25 raffle. And Brian, can you show us that screen for the flyer, please? Okay, so the Got 25, we're selling 40 entries, and that will be 1,000 for a Melvin Jones Fellow, send me your checks. You send in more than 25, more chances to win. Once I get the 40 entries sold, and the equivalent to 1,000, you will be able to, I will send you an email for the Zoom so that you can witness who's going to win the first virtual LCIF got 25, Melvin Jones Fellow. So please send in more entries. This one is waiting. So, and then, so the next time it won't be box. We'll have some new stuff, new fun stuff that will be in the, how do you call this? The thing, the bingo. And also, I attended the Williams Lions Club and I thank them for committing to be a classic club. If your club wants to participate and there are different levels of participation, call us. But if you don't call us, we'll call you too. And then we'll sit down and see how your club can participate. LCIF is our foundation. And as you know, we are, as Arizona, we are a recipient of so many grants already. And I'm working it, it might seem impossible to join in if you look at like the visionary, but there are other levels. And I'm also talking to my club that hopefully that we can participate. And Lion Marie, are you already there?
Yes, I've been here. I've just been muted by Lion Brian.
Okay.
Oh, good afternoon, everybody. Thanks, DG Chuck, for giving us the opportunity to present today. As we all know, this pandemic has put a kink on some of our service activities. However, I firmly believe that it has opened up other areas of opportunity, and one of that area is, of course, the area of giving. Because we might not be able to meet with each other, but definitely we can tap into your pocketbooks if you allow us to. As LCIF co-chair for the district, along with PDG Rosemary Gabriel, we hope to exceed the goals that our multiple district chair, PCC, PDG Fred Garmison has given us, which is actually for 21 North, $150,550, including pledges. And, that's made up of, so far, 3 model clubs: Peoria Sunset, Prescott Noon, and Prescott Sunrise. Visionary Club is Phoenix Barangay Lions. And we have 2 classic clubs, Phoenix Valley of the Sun and Williams Lions Club. PDG Mali and I want to work on increasing those numbers this year, of course. I'm working to get a 2 or 3 minute video with our LCIF folk incorporate, something that Mali and I can present to the clubs. And as a warning to the clubs, if you forget to invite Mali and I to your meetings, we will gate crash your meetings because we're not shy at all. So we will show up uninvited.
And
so
this is safer.
That is the goal for 21 North, is 150,000. And I think that if we put our heads together, that is a perfectly doable number. And let us not forget all the hundreds of thousands of people that LCIF helps every year with, because of Lions' generosity. LCIF and PIP Joe asked me to host a party on July 18th, and I would like to tell the district that it was quite successful. We had 6 attendees and 4 other couples that weren't able to make it. But out of that, we got 9 pledges and only 1 declined because due to difficulties right now. So we were able to get pledges. So far this year, we're ahead $8,000 already, thanks to Lions Ethel and Lion Ron, Lions Mini Palace, and Lion K. Obayo. Lions Kevin Dang and Lions Charmel de la Cruz. And they have chosen to become Lions of Empowerment. And of course, thanks to Lion Maria and Max Bondaryev, who are Lions of Dedication. There's different, when we go to the club visits, Mali, I think we should have the different levels of giving and how Lions International makes it easy because, you could give monthly or whatever your means are based on a monthly contribution. So you have 3 years to get your pledges fulfilled. It is, I think people shouldn't look at it as one big lump sum of $3,000 to become a Lion of Empowerment, because that's not the case. You have 3 years, you have 36 months to do so. And, that's not even a dinner for 2 people, you know what I mean, in a month.
Yes.
I just last year, I guess 21 North cumulatively donated 98,556, but that's what with somebody donating a one-time donation of 50,000. So Mali, looks like we need to work on our one-time donations as well. So for right now, our goal, District Governor Chuck, is to attend a lot of our club meetings so we can push our Campaign 100 project. And we hope to have some visual aids as well as, the pamphlets to hand out whenever we do this. Probably, Mali, the plan is to send out packets the way LCIF does, send out packets before our planned meeting so that they can be reading it at the same time that we are presenting. And I think it just makes it easier for them to be holding something visually. If Mali doesn't have anything else to add, I don't know, Mali, would you like to add something?
No, if you are participating in this raffle, if you win, and if you are participating in the club campaign 100, those will go towards your campaign 100. The 1,000, if you have a balance of 2,000, then it's going to be 1,000. So it really is a win-win. And don't worry about us. Invite us to your meetings. We are sure we won't get a traffic ticket this time. We can just zoom in and zoom out, zoom in. So I'm not worried about
that. That is correct. For those who have pledged to become Lion of Empowerment, that's $3,000 over 3 years. That means you are also eligible to get 3 Melvin Jones pins or awards that you can either choose to keep or you can give it to some of your more deserving club members, which is what I think Lion Ethel and Lion Charmel, they're all doing. So I commend them for their generosity. I would like to end by saying a quote by one of my favorites, Sir Winston Churchill. He said, "We make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give." Thank you, everybody, and have a nice afternoon.
Thank you,
Chuck,
everybody.
we have a question here. Linda Finley, your hand is up. I'm going to try to unmute you. Linda, did you have a question?
No, I'm sorry. I don't put my hand up. I had already asked yes, I do have a question. Rosemary, I'm sorry to back up to your report.
Yes.
You gave me the zones. Will you tell me who your counterpart is for South and who the MD is?
Oh, okay. Our MD is Marie, and my South counterpart is Lopez.
Ed Lopez.
Ed Lopez.
And I'm sorry, you said who was the MD?
Marie. Honey.
Marie. Oh, okay. Oh, well, of course. She's sitting there. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Linda. All right. Thank you, Rosemary.
I have 2 more questions here, actually.
Go ahead.
Maribel Dillard, your hand was up. Maribel, did you have a comment? I've unmuted you, but you're self-muted. So I'm going to remute you in a second, Maribel, but you had your hand up.
I'm unmuted now, Lion Brian. Thank you.
Do you have a question?
Yes, PD J. Rosemary Gabriel and past district governor Marie Cunning, we'd like to invite you to our Zoom meeting on August 9th because we have $1,000 for LCIF that we would be raffling for our Melvin Jones Fellow to keep for one of our memberships. So we already have 40 of that, got 25 done.
Maribel, may I suggest you email them the invitation?
Yes, we'll do.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Maribel.
thanks, I'm Maribel. I already have you on
And
my calendar.
Lionina, you had a question also, Lionina?
Yes, Lion PDG, Marie Cunning.
Yes,
For
Lionina.
that would be contributing the $1,000, is that going to be considered as a 100 campaign, or would that
Yes,
be?
no, actually, Lion Nena, please forgive me. I forgot to mention that Lion Nena was
Also
one
good.
of my pledges for $1,000. Yes, that entitles you as well, Lion Nena, for a Melvin Jones.
Well, thank you. I didn't want to be
And
mentioned,
that,
but
Lion Nena, thank you for your generosity.
thank you. I didn't want you to mention me in particular. I do have somebody in mind that might be willing to do this. So I was just wondering if it's going to be considered as the 100 campaign. So
Yes,
that I can
all
little
of
bit
this is campaign 100, towards
All right.
campaign
Thank
100.
you so much for declaring.
And then
Thank you.
Lion
And
Nan,
DG Chuck. Oh.
Lion Nan, your contribution of 1,000 will go towards our club's participation for the campaign 100.
That is correct.
Very good. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thanks, Lion Nance.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
you know what? Did you check? I posted this raffle, flyer on the Facebook, and the next thing I saw was that the East in Missouri was did the same thing, and it says, "Thank you for the idea. We stole it from Rosemary." And then Rosemary, so I said I did Facebook and said, stealing is okay because we're doing it for the same cause for LCIF. So that's fine.
Wonderful, wonderful.
DG Chuck, I know you gave me the assignment of trying to revitalize the Vietnamese people, but I would also like to give you the good news that I had invited Lion Kevin Dang to the LCIF presentation, and the Vietnamese community pledged $1,000 lump check. However, it doesn't stop there because he is still in the process of getting more donations, and he hopes to get it up to $5,000. And they intend to just give us a one lump check for LCIF.
Fantastic, fantastic.
Thank you.
That is good work, excellent work.
Thank you.
And also for the backtrack on membership, we might working on the singles club, Marie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm meeting with the singles club next Wednesday. They're supposedly, the charter president is going to be a GEO. And so far, he's only gotten his recruits for 10. So he's asking for my help to recruit. So that is what we are going to be talking about on Wednesday. It's coming up with a list of potential victims, for lack of a better word.
Yay, that's me. That's me. I want to be a victim. I want to be a victim. I want to be a victim, Marie. It's Annie.
Yeah, you're way qualified, Lion Annie. So yeah, we've got a list of people that we're going to be approaching for the Phoenix Singles Lions Club. Thank you, PDG Rosemary.
Thank you, Chuck. Thank you, Marie.
Thank you all. Okay, moving right along. Arizona Vision. PCC Jim Sternberg, would you like to give us an update, please? Jim?
Yes. Thank you.
All right.
The state legislation of Arizona passed the law last year, signed by the governor. They were about the last state in the union to sign one, but they did, requiring the schools to do mandatory visual acuity, depth perception, and color vision on all the students for at least 3 years. most of the clubs that have been doing the screening with our screeners have been just doing visual acuity. So they're going to have to go back and figure out doing depth perception and color vision also. The bill was turned over to the Health Service Department. They put together a committee to kind of come up with protocols. They couldn't agree on anything, and it was eventually disbanded. We do know that they're really looking at using the screeners primarily in pre-K, K, and first grade. The COVID came along, and naturally the screening took back seat. So for this upcoming year, everything is the same as what it has been in the past. So you should be able to go in and screen the schools without too much trouble. Seeing this happen, some of the Arizona Lions have established a vision screening committee with members from the north and from the south to take a look at this. We're looking at research projects that are done by other Lions clubs, screeners around the country for both of the different companies that produce those. We're hoping to get some favorable feedback from school superintendents, principals, teachers, nurses. But the first thing we're going to work on is establishing some suggested protocols for screening during the COVID crisis. There are certain steps that we're going to have to take. We don't know when we're going to get into schools. I know some schools are already meeting in person, and they have asked people to come and screen with them. So we're going to have to look at these protocols, pretty much follow them to keep everyone safe. We're also looking at recording the results. Some of the clubs have been doing a very good job of screening, but they haven't turned any results in at all as to how many were screened, how many passed, or any of the situations. We need to know that information because we're trying to put together a summary of research and what has been done in the past, favorable comments, and turn this in to the committee, the health committee, once they start meeting again and looking at this situation. We will be putting articles in the Canyon State Lions to keep everybody updated as to what the committee is doing. Down the road, we are going to be asking Lions to, if they know a state legislator or school administrator, some nurses that work in the schools, we're going to try and get as much positive information as we can. We're not at that stage yet, but we will put articles in the Canyon State and keep everyone up to date as to what this committee is doing. And I thank you very much, Governor, for your time.
Thank you, PCC Jim. Good information. Brian, do you have any more questions?
If anybody's got any questions or comments, now is a great time to ask.
Yeah, this would be a wonderful time. We can start winding down a little bit. Otherwise, before we move into
I do have a question. I do have questions coming in now, finally.
Go ahead.
Lion Nina and Lion Philip are both in line thus far. Lion Nina, I'm going to unmute you first. Lion Nina, your question or comment?
Very good. Thank you, Lion Brian. I just wanted to find out, are these different areas of schools pre-assigned to different clubs, or is it just that one club screener would go to all of the different schools? I mean, last year I was informed by one of the club members that does the screening that she had done all the Maricopa County schools, yet she did not, because the school that we actually screened, which was the Julian Percy and the Martin Luther King, was not in her list. So I just wanted to find out if these areas are supposed to be pre-assigned, and if they are, would there be a list coming up on which section should we be able to do per club, so that we do not overtake any other club for the service?
Can I answer it, Lion Chuck?
Okay.
Or Lion Joyce knows too?
Can I also
Okay.
answer, Lion Joy? I've, Lion Chuck, I think for me, it is best for them to ask the Vision Center, Lion Jeanette or Lion Jim, to know which areas they should cover so they won't lap each other.
Yes, this is
Yeah.
basically what I'm trying to do, is we don't overlap somebody's area that they're supposed to be doing. Yet we have a goal per club to do some of this screening also.
Each club has an area which is usually around their meeting locations, kind of their territory, if you will. And each club tends to carry, at least down here, 12 to 14 schools. And it's usually in their area or in the district that they're sitting in their meeting location. Occasionally they get outside the area. When I was teaching school, my club, Midtown, at the time, handled my school.
Okay, so will
Otherwise,
an upcoming list of that particular subject?
The in
Vision probably
21,
has the list. Talk to Jeanette Russell. She can probably
Okay.
get you the list.
Yeah, Jeanette would have the true assignment list on that. So let me get with her and then I'll get back to you, okay?
Very good, thank you.
And I've got a
Okay.
number of questions here, Lion Chuck. Next one I had was Philip Castrovinci. Lion Phil, you're unmuted. No, you're self-muted. You got to unmute yourself, Phil. I can't do it.
Oh, God.
And then I got Lions Richard and
Okay, can you hear me?
yes.
Yes.
Okay, I've reached out to the Scottsdale school system because this is what we did last year. And we screened over six to 8,000 students. I sent this information into Jeanette's group. But right now they are on hold, and the only thing that I have tentatively scheduled is for the basis school, which is on Shea and 136th Street. So these are things that we are working on, and basically this is not just my club. My club's got 9 members in it, okay? And what I did last year is I reached out to a lot of the Asian American clubs and a lot of the clubs around the district to help us do that. And we did a wonderful job, and we did maybe 45% of the schools. The others wanted to do it manually. But right now I'm in a whole position with the lead nurse of the Scottsdale school system.
Thank you, Lion Phil. Lion Maribeth, you had a question? You're self-muted. If you're self-muted, I can't put you on. Okay,
Is it my
Maribeth, you're
turn?
unmuted. Yes.
Oh, can you hear me?
Lion Maribeth, please ask your question.
Yes. Actually, this is in response to Lion Lena Ingermanson. I am, by the way, Macbeth Torno from the Phoenix Film Lion Club, past president and a co-chair of the Vision, my husband being the chair. Basically, we just did fill up a survey that was sent to us by Jeanette Russell. Historically, we are not assigned a specific school. It's basically we get an email from Jeanette where the need is, and then we get to choose what those schools are convenient for all our members. But I think this survey will be able to help Jeanette so that because one of the questions that was asked there is, what are your preferences as to the school? I get emails from the schools that we serviced before who obviously were very pleased with the service we rendered them. And we have hundreds of students that were screened, and not only in vision, including physical examination, height, weight, color, etc., and health history. As a matter of fact, we have done that. That's why sometimes it gives us a little bit of limitation as to the number of students we can screen, although we normally finish them. It's because they add those physical examinations. And fortunately, we're adaptable as what the situation calls for. But this survey that my husband and I just filled out, I think will help a lot of us if we already are pre-assigned as to the school we wanted to service. Of course, we don't know that's gonna happen because of the fact that of the COVID, and most of us are now in our senior years, and there is a bit of limitation and also the danger of us being exposed out there. But with prayers, we hope we can do it because we love doing it. We meet wonderful staff, we meet wonderful students, and we put there our preferences as to the school we service. So that is just in response to Lion Nena's query as to if there are any assigned school to its particular club. Thank you.
Ethel.
One of our members, Raines Price, she's chairing the vision and the veterans also. She has done a lot alongside with Lion Janet Russell. I think the vision screening will be a great add-ons to the many services that we can actually introduce and be coordinated by Lion Maribel Diller to get all the clubs be engaged and they can be assigned the respective schools.
Okay, I've got other questions here. I've got Richard O. Brown. I think also Lori has questions, but Richard O. Brown, you're muted again. People need to please unmute yourself so that I can control the muting. There you go, Lion Richard. Please, nope, you just muted yourself, Lion Richard. Lion Richard, you're self-muted. There you go, Lion Richard. You had a question?
Okay. Yeah, I wanted to try to answer a question that was asked. Being that I was president of the Vision Center for several years, when the screenings first started, it was the clubs that went out to their school districts and asked the school district if they could be of assistance in the screenings. So nothing was ever assigned. I don't really think that assignments are being made other than maybe calls that comes into the Vision Center and saying that, do you have anybody that can screen? It's up to us as members of the clubs to go out to the schools. Keep in mind, there are 16 school districts in Phoenix. There's not one. So each one is probably handling these screenings differently. So you want to make sure that if you're looking to do this wonderful service to our kids of their communities, that you contact that school system and ask them if you can be of any help. Case in point, last year, Phil Castavinci did a fabulous job in organizing the Scottsdale schools. And we, as Phil said, we did 6,000 to 8,000 kids last year, but we didn't even do half of their students because we really didn't have enough help. We're going, hopefully, and I know it's Phil's desire and hope that he can get more people to help so we can do all of the schools. But basically, to get back to the original question, go out to your school district and ask if you can help. They'll tell you whether or not somebody else is helping. So that's all I wanted to mention.
Good clarification.
Any other questions? I guess Lori has no written questions.
Oh, actually, I do have.
Oh, Lori, I'm sorry.
I do have a written question, and then I have a comment. The written question is from Lion Jim Perkins, and he wrote, would 21 North help out 21 South and vice versa? I believe it serves us all in projects is what I mean.
Well, there's nothing wrong with helping out. Just because a club is in 21 North or South, it doesn't mean we can't have other clubs assist them. I think that would be a wonderful idea if we cross border lines. What one of the things I'm going to try to emphasize this next year is club visitations and club help. If a club that you're used to working for is out in the South, why not help them out? You know, we're all Arizona Lions, right? Let's live up to that. Let's be Arizona Lions. Let's cross whatever borders we need to. But I'll talk to Keith about that. We talked briefly about it, but we need to discuss it at length. But I don't see why we can't help each other out. We're Arizona Lions, period.
Thank you very much. And I also had a comment from I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I had a comment from Cabinet Secretary Annie, and she mentioned that Lion Donna Harris also has info on screening.
Oh, yes.
Can I give one more comment really quick, Lori?
Sure.
Okay, I also, in our area, we go to the nurses at the schools, and there is a head nurse, and they have their meetings for all the schools, or I guess maybe you have much more. We only have one district out here, of course, but we go to their meeting as well, and both of our clubs share doing the screening in our area. But they too, when you go to that head nurse and those nurses meetings, the school nurse meetings, you'll be able to get a lot of information because they're the ones that are going to have to set you all up. So that's another avenue you may consider taking is checking with the head school nurse in your district or area. Thank you.
I've also, any more comments, Lion Lori? I've got another one here, but do you have anything else, Lion Lori? I've got another one here. Okay, I have a hand up from Lion Al Hunter, and I'm going to unmute you, Lion Al, and you can, there you go, you're unmuted.
Okay, as far as that comment that was brought up before about the district boundaries, I know that as a member of multiple district, both myself and now Council Chair Barbara, we had long discussions about that, and our view of the whole thing is that you forget that line even exists. As far as helping clubs out, as far as working on mutual things, as far as growth and stuff like that. Which is our point of view is that just forget about the line, just do whatever works, just as long as we follow protocols, that's all.
Right on, Al. Good comment.
Okay, thank you, Lion Al. I got another comment here. We're getting a lot of great comments going. Lion James Golgan. I'm going to, you're self-muted. You need to make sure, please, to unmute yourselves so that I can control the muting. Lion James, you are still self-muted. You need to hit your mute button so that I can unmute you. There you go. Lion James, you had a question. Nope, you just muted yourself again, Lion James.
Am I unmuted?
Now you are, yes, yes, you are.
Yeah, hi. The name is Golden, actually, Golden.
I'm sorry.
My question, it's okay. My question is, we're in the process of getting a new screen tester. The one is, well, we need something different for when it comes to the color vision and the other tests that are going to be added to this, or can we use the same equipment, or should I be looking to get something else now?
Can I help with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead, Annie.
The spot machine is for just doing the vision screening, period. We have a local optometrist, like Havasu Family Eye Care, and their doctors there set up a certain day of the week to do screening with us, to which they have the separate entities they need to do the color screening and that. There's about 4 different types of screenings that they do, as well as the vision screening. So check with your nurses there, or check with a local optometrist that you guys might work with that have those, because they usually do those specific different screenings, and they have different materials that they use to do those screenings. We just usually do just the spot machine. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, thanks a lot for that. Will they do the reporting then? In other words, once we get it to our doctors, we have 3 doctors that we work with. once we get it to them, how will the reporting on color and all that be handled through them?
They can, well, I go through the nurse. The nurse, we give her all the stats, because if there's anybody that did fail, then they send a letter and information home with the student, so that they can be, the parents can be informed that they need testing done, or they should get testing done for their child. And they usually will give us a total report, and then we in turn give it to Jeanette.
Okay, great, because I know we weren't keeping any information on anything other than, you passed or failed. Thank you so much.
I asked them to give me a report on that, just so we can further report it to Vision.
I have two more people lined up, Lion's Nina and then PID Dave Roberts. Lion Nina, I'm going to unmute you.
Okay, thank you, Lion Brian. In addition to that comment about the different companies or facilities that's offering free testing, our club has a member that I was actually offered by Lens Crafters to have a free vision exam and 3 pairs corresponding prescription glasses free from July 3rd to September 5th. So if anybody's interested, this is just something that some club or any club might check with Lens Crafters. It's a free testing. They only allow 3 patients per week for a certain length of time. So that's just something that anybody can probably check with Lens Crafters. Thank you.
Good information.
Okay, and I'm going to bring up Lion Dave Roberts, Chris Gibbs, and then Maribeth Tomo. So please make sure when I get to you that you're unmuted. Lion Dave Roberts, you are next.
All right, thank you. We did about 13,000 tests last year, our team did. And one of the schools would like to have color testing. We have the Ishikawa test for color deficiency. They're available on Amazon. They're not very expensive, and they're plates that can be used. Take a look at that if you would like to do color testing. It's an easy way to do it, but it does take a little more time. Thank you.
Thank you, Lion Dave. The next person up is Lion Chris Gibbs. Lion Chris, you're unmuted.
Thank you. I just wanted to say to all the lions in the north, there are no boundaries. We are all lions, and I am so thankful for everything you do. I say that on behalf of myself and President District Governor Keith. Thank you.
Great.
Okay, next we have Lion Maribeth Tomo. And Lion Maribeth, you muted yourself again. I can't put you on. Let me turn on your mute button. You need to unmute yourself. You are still muted. You need to click your mute button. You are still muted. I've unmuted you, but you're still self-muted.
You go. I got it. Okay, sorry. Anyway, that Lens Crafters that Lion Nena have mentioned, unfortunately, the spots are already filled up. What we are working on now, because this is the Lens Crafters at Scottsdale Fashion Square that was actually introduced to us by one of our members, and the people that have been seen already, they got free examination, free glasses. They were very, very, very happy. Unfortunately, it's only an every Thursday kind of thing. And the spots for that length of time from July to September are already filled because they will only see 3 patients at a time. What we are working on now is to look into the other Lens Crafters in the valley, not just Fashion Square, and see if they can also offer the same service. And hopefully we can do this every year. So that's where we are now. But unfortunately, I was going to put it on Facebook that we are needing some people who are really, sort of in a hardship if they want to avail themselves of this free service, but the spots are all taken. But we're working on to extending it, and maybe other lens crafters will open their doors to this service, because people that were seen were very, very happy. Thank you.
All right. Great
Thank
comment.
you very much. Hold on 1 second, please. I have a couple things. I have another person, Nina, I'll get to you in a moment. Lion Lori, did Lion Grace have something you want to share? I noticed she wrote a comment.
Yes, I was just waiting for the raised hands. Lion Grace Miller asked, is District Governor Chuck planning on an all Arizona Lions Day of service like the one that was started by immediate past District Governor Marie Cunning?
Yes, we are. We'll have some information out on that by next week. We're working on a project to do that. So yes.
And then I had there was a comment from Lion Maribel Dillard. We welcome North or South collaboration on all service projects. And then there was 2 additional comments thanking you for the meeting.
All right.
And I've got a comment or a question from Lion Nina. So Lion Nina, you are unmuted.
Thank you, Lion Brian. To follow up with Lion, past president of our Phil Alliance, Macbeth, this is a follow-up comment that I have actually corresponded with the assistant manager of the Lens Crafters in Fashion Square that offered us that benefit of 3 exam and corresponding prescription glasses. This company is actually offering different nonprofit organizations to extend this service. Our filled up spots are not, the length of time that was given to us is not extendable at present. However, if any of you guys would like to have the opportunity of the same offer, you probably could get in touch with their head office, because my correspondence with this particular office was declined because of the fact that they're helping other nonprofit organizations. Just to let you know that you do have an option to reach out to the main office. And our spots were definitely filled up fast by one of our 10 members that was so hardworking and able to get all these different referrals. It does require a few paperwork, not just a few, but per patient, which is probably going to be told to you by any of the Lens Crafter representative that would be answering your questions. So you can just follow up with the rest of the requirements. Thank you so much. That's all.
All right.
And Lion, Chuck, I'm going to do some magical conjuring here, and Lion David Price is going to appear and say something.
Oh, wonderful.
Lion David Price, come from the Ethernet. I've unmuted you, David. You can bring up your camera now if you want. And
David?
You can speak. David, unmute yourself. I'm conjuring you up. Come on, David.
How's that?
There you are.
All right. One thing that I'm going to ask everybody that is on this particular meeting to do is, when you go out to do screening, eliminate the word failure. The proper word to use, and that we were told this by the head nurse at Washington Elementary School District in Phoenix, always say a referral, because some of these kids have terrible self-worth as it is, and if you say they failed at something, you make it worse. So we have to use the proper term. I think referral is the proper way to do it. Thank you.
That's a good point, David. Thank you.
I don't see any more hands, Lion Chuck. I've been watching. I don't know if Lori's got any questions for you, but I don't see any more hands coming up. Lion Lori?
Okay.
I don't see any more typed in questions either.
Well, in that case, let's move on. Shall we have a little fun activity before we close? Is Lion Judy Williams up?
She's on a panelist. She should be able to pop herself right up.
I'm here.
Okay, wonderful.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Good.
Do you have a song for us, Judy?
I do. Are you going to be showing anybody the words or am I on my own?
No.
Judy, I have the words and I have the music for you as well.
There you go.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to flip this around because it's not quite in the order. Okay, so are you ready?
We're ready.
When lion
Oh, I
eyes
thought you
are
were going to teach
shining.
it. I'm sorry. 1 second.
Okay. Oh, shoot.
Here it comes.
When lion eyes are shining, oh, what a sight to see. For when lion eyes are shining, we have served
our
our
community.
We give
We
our all,
all,
we
we
serve
serve
our
our
state.
state.
Oh,
Oh, what
what
we
we
feel.
feel. For
For
when
when lion's eyes are shining,
the joy
the
that
joy they give is real.
Very nice.
I think I'll do better without the music,
All right.
if that's
Try it
possible.
Try it a cappella then.
I'm an a cappella singer.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna do this to back in the saddle again. So here it goes. Yes, we're serving again, serving with all of our friends.
Whoopee-tie-I-O,
Serving
serving to and fro,
doing what
what
lions do
lions do best.
best. We're back to serving
Service
again.
again.
Yes,
Yeah,
we're
we're
serving again, where we help our fellow men and do the best we can. We're back to serving again.
All right.
Burovich has her hand up. I guess she has a comment on your song.
Well, I don't know if I
Lion
want
Linda?
one or not.
Lion Linda, you wanted to speak? Lion Linda Hurovich?
Yes, I don't have a question. I don't have a question, but I do have a comment.
Yes.
I was privileged in the fall to go to, it was 2 or 3 of the schools in Scottsdale to do eye screening, and it was my first time, and I'm telling you, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I couldn't have been happier that I had.
Very cool.
Okay.
Thank you. Lion Robert, do you have a comment on the music? Robert Rothmiller?
The only no comment. Just is there some way you guys can send those words to us? I like them both. I'd like to use them.
We'll get you the PowerPoint later.
Yes.
Okay, Lion Judy, you can go back up. Sorry about that.
All right, that's okay.
The last song.
The last one we're going to do, and it's to I've been working on the railroad. It goes like this. I've been serving Arizona all the live long day. I've been serving Arizona in
helpful lion's way.
Lions,
Lions,
can you
hear me
roaring?
roaring?
Someone
Someone
ring
ring
the
the
bell.
bell.
We've been
We've been
serving
serving Arizona
Arizona in a
in a
helpful
helpful
lion's
lion's
way.
way.
Now you know why I do the singing in the family and not him.
Thank you, Judy.
All right.
I hope everybody had a good time. Cabinet meetings can be a little dull. We wanted to funds up the thing, and I hope you enjoyed it and weren't too bored. But anyway, onward to serving, Lions. This is going to be a fantastic year. We're expecting a lot out of everybody. So we all need to step up and serve and donate and do what Lions do. And if there are no other questions, I am going to ring the Arizona Lions gong again and call this meeting closed.
Thank you, Lion Chuck. Thank you, DJ
Thank
Chuck.
you.
How wonderful.
Thanks,
Bye,
everybody. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.